Great Dictators, a sample. Did it just happen by happenstance, half the world ruled by psychopaths? Ramesses II is generally reckoned a fabulous pharaoh, although Shelley's sonnet sheds another light on it. Nebuchadnezzar was forever fighting, building, and destroying, probably quite annoying. Alexander the Great seemed destined by fate to attack, a megalomaniac. Caligula, the third Roman emperor, spent most of his reign insane. Emperor Nero fiddled con brio to lighten the tone as flames ravaged Rome. Attila the Hun terrified everyone without ever understanding the inanity of macho masculinity. William the Conqueror came over here and got British nationality at battle without going through the proper channel. Richard III might have been a murderer, but it's definitely not conjecture that his bones were parked in Leicester. Henry VIII, defender of the faith, believed the biggest problem in his life was whoever happened to be his wife. Ivan the Terrible was great in Ivan the Terrible, but other than in Ivan the Terrible, he was terrible. Oliver Cromwell, Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland, where he murdered several thousand. Napoleon, a Corsican to whom much of European jurisprudence is beholden, but I'm with Beethoven. Stalin, aka Uncle Joe, is still admired in Russia, even though, in historians' opinion, he murdered more or less 9 million. Benito Mussolini, Il Duce of Italy, was fond of being fascist for effect, perhaps too much in retrospect. Adolf Hitler, a former Führer, who failed a bit at painting pics and then, big time, at politics. Chairman Mao is still revered in China now, not so much for all the lives he took, but rather for his little red book. Ayatollah Khomeini, an Iranian theocrat known mainly for looking sour, overthrowing the Shah, and having a thing about fatwa. Emperor Hirohito had to give up being God, which, if he was, is odd. Augusto Pinochet, el dictador de Chile, turned Chile into hell. Tal vez el infierno es Chile para él. Nicolae Ceausescu was loved by leaders in the West who admired his opposition to the invasion of Czechoslovakia. It didn't make Romanians any happier. Robert Mugabe loved any political party as long as the party's celebrity was he. Pol Pot was criticized quite a lot for deviating from orthodox Marxism-Leninism. He killed about 2 million. Idi Amin was keen to be seen as Uganda's great dictator, a fruitcake who became a fruitarian later. Ian Paisley, praises be, after no to this, and no to that, he donned a power-sharing hat. Fidel Castro, a maestro at giving very long speeches while Cuba fell to pieces. Saddam Hussein had an awfully bad name for human rights abuses, genocide, corruption, and for not having any weapons of mass destruction. Jacob Zuma was not in good humor when charged with house embellishment, corruption. It was all a misconstruction. Colonel Gaddafi thought himself savvy but if you read his famous Green Book, you'll think him mistook. Karadzic, Radovan, an ethnic cleansing fan, with a propensity for heroic poetry, predictably. Daniel Ortega of Nicaragua, a fighter against tyranny, then a tyrant, ironically. Donald Trump got the hump, being the quondam megalomaga win-win mafia boss who lost. Jerry Adams was always saddened that he had to deny being in the IRA after each atrocity. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli hard-right PM who dislikes A, being tried for corruption, and B, any opinions in favour of Palestinians. Narendra Modi has a tried and tested Modi operandi. 1. Stir up hatred of minority. 2. Maintain majority. Vladimir Putin is always a shoo-in whenever, as Russia's democratically elected great dictator, he's on the ballot paper. Jinping Xi, very powerful he, and much beloved by every Chinese who know much loving that the safest thing to do. Alexander Lukashenko acts the hard man, though it doesn't cut it, he's Putin's puppet. Jair Bolsonaro, ex-presidente brasileiro, a self-styled anti-democratic He-Man hero, otherwise -0. Goodluck Jonathan, one-time #1 Nigerian, could hardly believe his nominally determinative good luck, president and unassailably corrupt. Osama bin Laden never lived in Arden, where he might have found the everyday life of country folk more fulfilling than everyday killing. Viktor Orban, mega Magyar man, a quondam dissident who thought, fuck that, I'll be an autocrat. Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, would-be world king at Eton, had to restrict his ambition to fucking up Britain. Bashar al-Assad really shouldn't look so sad. Although so many Syrians are dead or have fled to the exterior, he's still the president of Syria. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the Caliphate's big daddy, believed that doing wrong is right, the little shite. Abu Bakr Shakau of Boko Haram dedicated his life to doing harm. After many false reports that he had died, good news, he really did. Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia had seemed a herald of utopia until his Ethiopian epiphany went amiss and became an Abyssinian abyss. Kim Jong-un, a rotund wrong'un, who's ruled with iron rod ever since his career advisor said, "Why not have a go at being God?" Mohammed bin Salman, ruler of the Saud clan, relaxed the code for women's dress, but torture, jailing and murder remain his major interest. The Taliban, victors in Afghanistan, like repressing girls and women. Just wait till women do the winning. Sicut erat in principio, et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.